Ladies and gentlemen, we're back in the HBR shed tonight. We're actually talking with Greg Holland. Greg, welcome.
Thanks, Scotty.
Nice to see you, mate.
Yeah.
Greg, you've been in this sport for a very long time, mate. Can you tell us a little bit, where did you come from?
Look, I originally followed the old man's footsteps, I suppose, back in the days of the Victorian Speedboat Club, where back in those days, to be commodore of the club, you had to actually be an owner of a race boat. So the old man had to go harbies in a boat and race a boat, and I sort of just followed them footsteps there, and still continuing on with the boat club. So the boat club's my second love. I'm nearly up there nearly every weekend if I'm not back here working on these things or the truck.
Holly, mate, you've worked on that many boats. You've had that many boats. Can you tell us a little bit of history about some of the boats you've had?
Look, to be honest with you, it all started back with the days of old Graham Rogers when he had the little Repco Brabham in the boat called the Wasp. And I went to Melton one weekend to buy a little 1.6, and he wouldn't drop his price, and Graham Rogers had given me the invitation to get involved in his boat and helping him transplant it with a 4.2, and which we did, and I had one drive of it, and that was it, and I've sold everything that I had to buy the boat, and that was back in my racing career. Started back in '86, and I never looked back. So,
congratulations on a massive career, because not only did you drive that boat, you actually built another one called Beer and Boats. Can you tell us a little bit about that one?
Yeah, we had some friends that were involved in the aircraft game that sort of supplied us a fair bit of product and all that sort of thing. So we mucked around with some moulds and altered the moulds and changed the moulds, and then we built the little HBR boat as we know it now. We originally called it Beer and Boats, which we started off with a 4.2 in it. We did claim a few records, not actually with the old boat, not with the new one. And then the class just sort of fell apart. Then we decided to put a 5 litre in it. And then it was a Ken Waggett trophy up in New South Wales that they always ran. And it was something that I always wanted to get my name on it. So I basically won that, and then that was it, and I sort of jumped out the driver's seat and put the boys through it.
Now that boat is still circulating, so it's got some history about it.
It has, that boat. Yeah, well, the old wooden boat that I actually brought off Graham's sitting in the shed up at Albury at the moment, but with the new boat, yeah, look, we built that in 2000, I think we built that. So, she's a 24-year-old boat now, and she's done some laps, and then we sort of weighed it up and mucked around and all that before we put a little 1.6 in it. And silly me, I suppose, with the belts and all that sort of stuff like that, but we've had a good run out of the boat. It's done a lot of laps. It has won some trophies and kept the boys busy for a while, kept them going. So,
hey, you got to try something with the belts, different sort of engineering style and making the drive shaft go around.
Yeah, look, we mucked around it when we had the 4.2 in it, and then we used to run the 5 litre. And I think once we went underdrive with the 1.6 in it with a few higher RPM in it, we just sort of had all sorts of troubles trying to keep belts on it, and I kept persevering with it because, I don't know, it's just stubborn, I suppose, and just kept persevering with it. But we eventually did buy a gearbox for it, ready to do a transplant, and then young Brad decided to bring another boat out from the States, which he brought his little Henderson out, and it just so happened I had the gearbox, so I had a bit of other pieces, and as I brought another little boat I went sort of partners with young Oscar with the HBR2, which, that thing hasn't missed a beat since we've had it, and Brad had a little hiccup at the last meeting we went and lost a propeller, but we've got new shafts and new propellers already of it, so hopefully we'll be up the lake this weekend testing it.
Now, Holly, you've helped so many people along the way. Brad, Liam, Oscar. What else have you been doing?
Well, I have been mucking around with my junior boats. I still own me little Cordialon boats, which hasn't been doing much. I still got little Liberty that sort of lives up at Epilock at the moment, so we have a few of the old school boating days and all that, and we round up all the kids, and I'd hate to think how many kids that I've got into junior boat racing. That's how we found Oscar. We got him into junior boat racing. And then we put him in the Desperado at Lake Charm, and yeah, he's going to be a good little top little driver, I think, yeah.
I reckon he's going to be trying to kick Liam out of the hot spot and get into it soon.
Oh yeah, Liam's only got to run amok again and he's out, so yeah. So it was a bit unfortunate it was his birthday the day before, but doesn't matter. But I got plenty of drivers to step up on the back of it to drive the boat. Finding drivers is not a problem.
Well, that was one of the other things. I noticed that you had Nathan Bartzak get into HBR, the original Beer and Boats, down at Lake Epilock as well.
Yeah, well, that's only because Brad had jumped out of the seat and got his own boat, so we had the boat sitting there, and Nathan was quite happy to do a little bit of work to get it happening, and but we just had another problem. We actually wasn't so much a belt problem, but we had a bolt fall out of the bottom of the boat that actually got caught up in the belt and destroyed the belt. And since then, we've had Brad had a little hurt, so we're trying to get that thing going. Keen on getting this thing going, ready for the Griffiths Cup and chase some signatures, and a couple of trips up the Taree to get signatures and stuff like that. So, but I've got it off the trailer now, do a couple of little repairs on the bottom and do a bit of tuning and fix up things that are not working correctly on it. And
now, going back in time, this is, this is not your first Griffith Cup win. Back in 2002, you won it driving Big Chief. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, I've known Ron Burton all my life. Some people have some bad words about him. He was a hard man to deal with, but there was only one goal that I wanted out of him, and that was to win a Griffiths Cup. And his son, young Paul, rest in peace, he had a bit of a fall at Yarrawonga and smashed his knee up, so he couldn't drive the boat. So I got the quick phone call, a couple of interviews, and we went in and done a few laps and testing and all that. And we went over to New Zealand, one thing on our mind, and to bring the Griffiths Cup back, and that's what we done. So Ronnie Burton got I think it was a number 10 for him or something, and it was number 1 for me. So yeah, that was definitely my highlight of the year, that's for sure. That was back then days, and then to go out 20 years down the track and do it with as an owner and driver, or as land driver, and to get your second name on the Griffiths Cup, which is sensational.
Like I said, there's not many people that can do that sort of thing. I think there's only, 2 or 3 people that have got father and son?
Yeah, more than likely. You'd have to check through the list. There's a lot of, like the old Stampede, they got, 8 or 9 in a row and all that sort of stuff like that, but I'm not too sure. Grant Harrison would have to be getting pretty close to being the most now. If not, it'll be still Ron Burton. So I've just enjoyed doing what I'm doing. I'm getting a bit older and a bit deafer and a bit, sight's not as good as it will be, but...
what are you doing this year for the Griffith Cup? Are you going to be working in the top end pits like you've done before?
Yeah, I'll put my hand up to look after the radios and all that, and also I'll be a bit of security at night with the new transporter.
Yep.
So I'll just park there, and that's where I'm going to be for 4 days. So we'll obviously have the other 2 little boats, so there'll be 3 boats to keep going, sort of thing. So we do what we have to do to keep them going.
Holly, tell us a little bit about what was it like to import Brad's boat?
Oh, look, I think the day we brought this over here, I think we were about 78 cents to the dollar or something like that. I'm not so sure with Brad what it, like price-wise and all that, but the shipping costs and all that, that's what done all the damage there. As I said, we brought a gearbox prior to that to put into the HBR boat. So, that sort of saved him a few bucks here. And when we brought Oscar's boat, it come with a few bits of exhaust and stuff like that. And I think we're running one of Grant Harrison's sumps on it at the moment. So, just a matter of finding all that sort of thing. But it's not a cheap sport. You think, oh, just a little 4-cylinder motor, but, it's up there with the dollar range, that's for sure.
Oh, it definitely is, especially when you're running 2 1.6s and a 6-litre as well, 3 boats. It's not a cheap thing.
Well, I have sort of, there's no one owner I could do it on my own. Like I said, I don't know whether you can see all these sponsors on the back wall down there, but, we've got a lot of really great people that help us out big time. We've got good crews that help us out. I've got the 2 of the boys now are actually working, so they're sort of throwing in a bit of their own money. It's just not all my money, so, which there's nothing left of it anyway, so I'm happy. I've got that's me retirement home there, so wherever I park that's me retirement village, so just enjoyed what I've been doing.
mate, you've been working in the, with the VSBC for that many years.
Yes, yeah.
A Commodore of the club, you've steered it in a direction. You've done so many things. Do you want to tell us a little bit of what you've done?
Yeah, it's the love of the club again. You've got to be dedicated to do this sort of thing. But I spent probably 12, 13 years in the committee sort of thing. Ran the show for a couple of years as Commodore sort of thing, which ended up giving me a life membership of the club. So I think all up, back in '86, I think I had to join the club. I think we were going well into the 75s. I think the old man was around there. He was Commodore as well, so I sort of took over his shoes. But yeah, look, I enjoyed up there. Like I said, we're not working on boats down here or working on the trucks or, I bought myself a little hoist here to play around. I wanted to always do up a little Chevy truck, so I've done that, and I'll never do another bigger one, that's for sure. If it don't go up and down on a hoist, I'm not doing it. So, but yeah, look, I love the club. It's my life up there. I've got a nice little van set up there. Great people up there. Some really nice people and as I said, like a lot of them are our sponsors and all that sort of stuff like that. They love the Holy Boys. They love the Holy Boys, what they do and what we do for the kids and all that, to get them on the water. It's just great, yeah.
Holly, you've been in this sport for multiple years. The family's been in the sport multiple years. We're looking forward to the next minimum of 20 to 30 years, and Liam's already made the prediction that his son will follow in his footsteps. What do you reckon?
Oh, look, there's no doubt, yeah. Young Austin, Brad sort of thing, I can think of his name, but, mate, you start the boat up and he just got the biggest smile on his face, and, we showed him the truck there the other day. We were up there before we went up to Taree, and, mate, we couldn't get him out of it, he was coming, he was happy to stay, but yeah, no, absolutely perfect, yeah. And, that's having the grandkids as part of one of the reasons we sort of built the truck up, if they start running amok or something, we can lock them up in the truck, turn the air conditioner on and turn the TV on for them, put games on for them and all that sort of stuff. Share a toilet if we need it. So,
it's always been a family sport.
It is a family deal, yeah.
Well, Holly, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Yep.
And thank you for letting us into the shed. It's very important that people like yourself and the Holly Boys continue on in your footsteps.
Yep.
So we're looking forward to 2024 Griffith Cup. And let's see, hopefully, there's another potentially yellow boat with Desperado written on it.
Well, if we can keep this thing going the way we were going at Taree, as I said, had all the GPs up there, they all had a hurt, so realistic, everyone that was there could have lost the Griffiths Cup. We had the last race of the day, the King of the River, and the battery she just shorted out, died on us, so had it been the race before, we could have changed the battery and we would have been ready for the final, but it's one of the things with the Griffiths Cup, it's first you got to finish, and if you don't finish, and hopefully you're in front, and hopefully Liam can keep fit and all that sort of thing, because they do take a lot of fitness to drive these sort of things. I wouldn't think to myself that I could go out and do it, not my age anyway, so. But yeah, look, we're there. We're not going to back out of it, so yeah. Liam will have a good crack at it, and hopefully we can keep it going.
Good luck for the weekend, Holly. We look forward to seeing you guys there.
Thanks,
Thank
Scott.
you.
Thanks, girls. Cheers.